Hi there, I'm Martin Evans from Daikin Ireland, and today I'll be talking to you about the Daikin Altherma 3 integrated R32 heat pump. Okay, we're ready to now turn on the unit. We've done all our initial checks, everything's ready to go, so we turn on the power. So for the first time what we'll see is the software version and the Daikin logo come up, and after a few seconds it's going to carry out an initialization, synchronization indoor unit. So there we can see the synchronization is now taking place up to 100%, and we're good to go. Once the unit's finished synchronization, we're going to get the initial wizard up, which is the way of just putting in the initial settings to get you going. So here on the screen we can see our first language is English. We have other options there, and today we're going to select English. It's now asking us to set the time and date up at the top. Whatever is highlighted in blue we can adjust. So if we go through the hours, the minutes, the year, the month and the date. Once we've finished on this list, if we hit the left hand button, we'll go on to the next page, which is the initial system. So the first top two lines are telling us what the machine is. We press and we press and we press again, so it's telling us it's an integrated unit. We have a setting here for an emergency operation. We recommend that you always keep that as manual. The next setting is the number of zones. When Daikin says single zone, we mean one type of heat emitter. So i.e. if the house is only underfloor or only radiators or only fan coil. If we had a mixture of underfloor and radiators, we could select dual zone. In this scenario, we're just going to select a single zone, and again we press the left hand dial. We're now into the backup heater settings. So this is a 230 volt single phase. It's configured for 2 kilowatts and 6 kilowatts, which is a total of 6 kilowatts. So if we look at the next two lines, as the backup heater has two steps, the first one is 2 kilowatts and the second step is 4 kilowatts, giving us a total of 6. We can adjust this should the electrician have specified that he only needs a certain amount. We then press the left dial again, and we're now into our heating setup. So the top line we have three options. We have fan coil, underfloor heating or radiators. So in this scenario we'll go for radiators. The next one is, how are we going to control the system? Are we using external controls? Are we just going to set it up as a leaving water temperature machine? Or are we going to use the internal room thermostat? In this scenario and most scenarios we would always use the external controls. The next line is the set point mode. So we have options here of weather dependent, or we can set it as a fixed temperature. For this scenario we will set weather dependent. There is no schedule because we haven't set it up as a RT thermostat. We click onto the next screen, and this is our weather dependent graph that we can set now. We can come back to any of these settings later on. For this scenario we'll just set, say, 50 degrees at maximum temperature, 25 degrees as its minimum temperature, but we'll just up that to 30 as it's a radiator circuit. We can then set our ambient temperatures, so -3 is satisfactory, and an outside temperature of 15. We'll move on to the next one, which is tank. So again we have different options here. We can set a reheat and a schedule mode. We can set it as reheat only, or we can set it as schedule only. For this scenario we'll set reheat and schedule. which gives us the option of maintaining a base temperature in the tank 24 hours a day, and also the option of raising the tank temperature twice a day to meet higher demands. We can then set the 3 different temperatures for the tank. So comfort, we set that at 60 degrees, eco at 50, and reheat at 45. On some versions, you'll see the hysteresis here, depending on which software version you have. The hysteresis is fine at 10 degrees. If it's anything different, change that back to 10. And we move on. That's the initial settings done, so now the machine's asking us to just OK those. And again, the machine will now do the reboot and the synchronization.